Hey Rob,
Hey, Jim.
good to be back.
As always, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So today I want to ask you about how to pack household items for a long distance move. I know you're an expert on the packing topic, so I'll just hand it over to. I did have a few questions, but tell me what you know. Help me get started.
Yeah, so I'll give a little background. I've said this many times in a bunch of different podcasts. What matters in the international moving arena, as far as what I need to know so that I or relocation specialists can quote a client accurately, understanding really what their needs are, is what's the volume? How much space is occupied on the plane or the boat, right? And then also, if there's anything over and above that needs to be taken care of. That could be a pinball machine. That could be a billiard table. It could be fine art. It could be, a 19th century glass curio cabinet, things that need special attention, a marble tabletop.
Mm,
Um, and then beyond that, who is going to do the packing of the boxes?
mm,
There's furniture on the one side, and on the other side of the equation, things that go in boxes like dishes and shoes and books, but is also includes framed wall art and TV sets, computer monitors. People lose track that those are boxed as well. Lamps, table lamps, and so yeah, it's a good subject for a client. Sometimes our clients will say, "We're going to handle." We the client now is going to handle the packing of the boxes. No problem. As long as they know what they're doing and they feel comfortable doing it, they can label things and create a manifest. No problem. Um, but there are some best practices.
mm.
One is to use a quality, if it's a cardboard corrugate box, use a good box. Whether it's at Home Depot or Lowe's or U-Haul or Amazon or Uline, good boxes. Dishes, flatware, and things of that nature, glasses from the kitchen probably should go in what are called dish packs or dish barrels. They're just a
Mm.
heavier sided situation and protect things as appropriate. Um, Pictures should go into picture slash mirror boxes. Lamps and lampshades, typically table lamps and lampshades should typically be placed in a box as well. Things that are heavy, like books that are more dense, small boxes, banker boxes or small boxes.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that it's a neat little hack that I've come up with over the years. When our clients really want to do their own packing, they really want to kind of handle their own stuff, and they're going to save money doing that, but they got to know what they're doing. They may have a round tabletop that's glass, thick glass tabletop or a square, or and they want to pack it themselves. They don't want to pay us to do a soft crate or a full wood crate. No
Yeah.
problem. Here's a little hack. If you're in Florida, so you're familiar with these noodles. They call them the floating noodles, and you put it around under your arms, and you float
Yeah.
around in the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic or wherever you are, or the
Y-
pool. So what you can do with those little guys, and I've done this many times, is you take your big noodle and you take a knife or a razor blade and just cut into the center. So
Oh,
now it's like you could open it up like a semicircle now,
yeah.
and you can put that around the edge of the glass or the marble or whatever if it lends itself to that, and put another one if it another one if you need it, and then you can put corrugate and shrink wrap or tape it to keep everything together. And
Yeah.
that's a really neat way to kind of protect things like that. You can picture that noodle cut
Yeah.
down the seam, and now
I
you
can
just
picture
wrap it
that.
around the end. Yeah.
Now, bigger things. I'm guessing most people would rather have it professionally packed, but let's talk about like an office. Let's say you got like modems and keyboards and stuff like that. It's tempting to want to just throw it all in a box, throw some peanuts in there and wrap it up, right? I'm assuming that's not how a professional does it though, right?
No, no, no. No, it really should be wrapped with proper, wrapping paper and that sort of thing. And you want to
Yeah.
bunch it up and tuft it as much as possible so that there's cushioning in between. You don't want to go crazy. You want to be, efficient as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just tell clients if you want to do your own packing of boxes and things like that, it's not a problem. Just do it appropriately. That's all.
Yeah. Now, in a house, usually when you go in, you have the living room and kitchen are usually the most visible rooms first. For the person who's going to be doing some things for themselves, is there any special room to start with? Where do boxes get put to the edges of the room? How do you approach that?
Yeah, if someone's going to do all their unpacking, I mean, we're automatically almost always going to be doing the wrapping and protecting
Oh, the
of
big
any
stuff.
metal type furniture.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's a good idea if the client is going to be doing their own boxing again,
Yeah.
boxing of dishes and clothes and books and that sort of thing. So it's always a good idea to set those aside and have it in segregated to their own area. Again, box number one is shoes, box number two is books, box number three is dishes, and then have a manifest that corresponds to that. Every country's a little bit different though, So some countries, require absolute granularity. A lot of countries in South
Oh.
America, Ecuador, for example, they want to know, how many pair of socks are we talking
Oh,
about in this? Yeah, they get granular.
interesting.
But most countries in Europe and places like that, and Australia, it's box number one is clothing, box number two is books, like that.
Yeah. Now, if you
Yeah,
have
but
office supplies, let's say you have a bunch of pens and paper clips, what do you do? Put those in like little zip bags and so people can see what they are, or
could be anything. Could be anything. They're not probably going to get looked at unless there's some reason.
yeah,
There's really no reason to do that. But yeah, I would just put them in whatever is convenient and label them appropriately.
right.
If anyone's going to look, yeah, they're going to say, okay, look, this is a box over here that says it's office supplies. Is it really? And
Yeah,
is it on the manifest as well? Office supplies, and same box number seven, box number seven. Oh, okay. Yeah, that kind
right.
of countries that are a little bit different. Like I mentioned, a lot of South American countries are a little granular,
Yeah.
but also Mexico.
Hmm.
Mexico, if you're going to bring your things in duty free across the border, there's a menaje de casa, and that is a form that you've got to get that from the consulate and fill it out. Pretty detailed. Got to be in Spanish and anything electronic. Could be a toaster, could be a hair dryer, could be a TV, doesn't matter. Make, model, and serial number.
Oh, interesting.
Every individual line item, so
Right.
that has to be done.
Well, you can see why it's so valuable. If you call SDC, for example, and talk to a relocation specialist, this is somebody that understands whatever country that you're going to be going to, all of these granular things that the
Yeah,
average person wouldn't have any idea about.
right. You don't want to get stuck at customs and they have questions
Yeah. Now,
because questions
even,
equals time equals money. You know,
yeah.
they aren't storing it for free for you.
Now, even here in the United States, I know if you're moving from state to state and you have a moving truck, they have those stations where every once in a while the police will wave the trucks in, even regular moving trucks, and see what's in there. Yeah. So I know
Those
you
are
don't have
good.
to have a customs form here, but there is some documentation. I guess if it's commercial, you have documentation. If it's residential, they can still opt to take a look and see what you have. Because I
Absolutely.
remember they don't want plants again moved from state to state either, no more than country to country.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, there's going to be a manifest and a bill of lading, and yeah, because that's going state to state. That's for many decades been sort of a method for drug runners. You
Yeah.
know, they would do either moving trucks or more often back in the day. We're both from Florida. We know these things.
Yeah.
How that used to work is they would have tow trucks.
Mm.
And so they would have a legitimate tow order. And we're towing a car from here to New Jersey. The police would they'd want to look, make, check, make sure it's all legit. So yeah, there's paperwork involved. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, packing just seems like one of those things that, unless you're talking about some real basic things that, aren't going to crack or break or something like that, it just seems like one of those things that are better left off to somebody that knows what they're doing.
Well, I'm actually kind of agnostic on that. I mean,
Yeah,
as long as my client understands what they're doing and wants to undertake it, I'm all for saving money. I mean, really,
yeah,
if you can save some money and it doesn't introduce any real risk. The downside to packing your own boxes, one of the bigger ones is the insurance aspect.
Mm.
So clients are packing their own boxes now, and they want to insure them. They really can't. I mean, they
Yeah.
can, but it's trickier because the insurance regulations are such that a licensed agent, licensed shipper has to have done that, and it
Yeah.
has to be marked PBA, packed by agent. Otherwise, they're going to try and insure, whatever Fabergé eggs, and the insurer has no idea, the underwriter has no idea if that's packed with bowling balls or if it's even wrapped correctly, or if there's even Fabergé eggs in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Good
and so
point.
that's why now there is a workaround where a client may say, "Rob, I want to pack all of my box. I want to save some money, and I do want to insure some things, but not everything." And this is all risk insurance. This is full coverage now.
Right.
Um,
Right.
a client can pick and choose. They can say, "I want to pack all the things myself. I'm not worried about the shoes, the linens, the towels, the pillows, or the books. But I am worried about these four boxes. Okay, we'll leave them open. When our team comes in, we'll inspect it, make sure what's in there, it's packed the right way. If it's not, we will adjust. We'll seal it back up, mark it PBA, packed by agent, and now you're eligible for insurance."
That's, yeah, interesting. Yeah,
Right.
that is interesting. I know that, and this was a long time ago when I was looking at the packing materials, they had gone up from that time. So I imagine they're not inexpensive. Good packing materials can't be inexpensive.
Right.
So that's why I guess I think to myself, well, I'm probably going to pay just as much or more for the materials than SDC, let's say, would pay for them.
You're going to pay retail, I pay wholesale.
Yeah, so how much money am I really saving? I guess
Right.
I'm saving the time that it would take to actually do the job. But then
Right.
again, I guess it depends on the individual because I'm sure if you've packed before and you feel confident with it, then it would be like second nature to you. This I'll pack, we'll leave for SDC to pack. But just to do it to try and like skim down the money a little bit, I understand both sides. You're right. I understand both sides. I understand saving money and I understand wanting the job to be done right. It's got to be up to the individual.
Up to the individual. I'm agnostic on it. I just try to explain, what to look out for and what to do. It can move the needle. I mean, financially, it can move the needle. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got to pay for things. We've got the labor involved, all that.
Yep.
So that's important. The other thing that comes up quite often in packing of the boxes again is using standard moving boxes, Lowe's, Home Depot, U-Haul, Uline, whatever, Amazon, versus the plastic totes or tubs. Like
Yeah.
Rubbermaid, those big Rubbermaid tubs. Home Depot's got their own, and they snap to get their plastic or rubber. And clients will ask, are these acceptable? Yeah, absolutely. If you want to pack using tubs, perfectly acceptable. And labeling remains the same. You still have to do the same thing with any box, label and have a manifest for everything.
Right.
Um, the only other downside to those can be a little bit, not much, is they're not perfectly square.
Yeah.
So, no matter how you stack them, there's going to be more air involved that you
Yeah.
can't fill. A little less efficient, but it's not a big thing.
Yeah, I have some old magazines stored in one of those plastic or a few of those plastic containers. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yep. So those, yeah, people use those all the time. They're really convenient, but
Yeah.
and they stack up nice. So yeah,
So when the person's actually talking to you about getting started with the move, then you can actually get eyes on the different things that are going to be moved. And let's say, okay, custom crating is going to have to be done for this particular type of object as opposed to some others. You know what can be
absolutely.
done and what, yeah.
That's right. And that's why we do the visual surveys,
Yeah.
so that I can see the furniture, and I can also a client may say, look, I've got 30 large boxes, 40 medium boxes, and 20 small boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all right. I know what that volume is. The other side is, okay, these are all the things I'm going to move. This is my kitchen. This is my main closet. This is the other closet. This is the garage. This is my artwork. This is my TVs, my monitors. And then I know I'm doing the math. Whether they're going to be packing or I'm going to be packing, I'm still going to add some amount of volume
Right.
for the boxes. Yeah.
Rob, this is great information. Just the other day, I saw somebody was contacting SDC about moving fine art from Europe into the United States. And I remember thinking at the time, I know that SDC has moved like high value artwork and things like that. It's great to have the people that know how to pack that properly so
Yep.
that you can get that kind of connection. So,
I absolutely do. And, like I said, with grand pianos or, baby grands or things of that nature, we know how to do it. We know how to wood crate things the right way. We move sometimes museums back and
yeah.
forth. And, we'll talk to a client and just say, look, this is the best practice. This is the
Yep.
best way to do it. It may cost a little more. And sometimes it's going to say, you know what, I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to go soft grade. Okay. We can, but, at least we can explain things.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Rob, great information. We'll put your information as always up on the screen so somebody can
Great.
call you. And or if people prefer, you can go to the website sdcinternationalshipping.com and there's chat available there and a ton of information about just about every moving topic you can think of and every country you could
Right.
move to or from
That's
because
right.
SDC serves all 50 states coast to coast. So wherever you are, SDC can help. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Rob, great talking to you again. I'll see you in the next one.
Sounds good, Jim. Good seeing you.
All right, see you later.